Once upon a time, in Storybook Ending, the speakers met Rowan the Fox, Tabitha's understudy who took their job when they were pulled into the real world. Rowan was cocky and rude, but agreed to Orion's bribe to rig the race for the toys and the hair. The race was sabotaged by a shadow figure though, who hurt Orion's head when he tried to magically learn about them. After a few tries at a new moral for the story, they finally landed a new fable with the lamb asking them, "Have you seen the wolf?"
Hello and welcome to Storybook Ending. My name is Loxley. I use V, Veer, or they, them pronouns, and I will be your keeper of stories. With me today is Addie.
My name is Addie, the player. I use she, her pronouns, and I play the character Margie Gloucester, who also uses she, her pronouns.
We also have Danny.
I'm Danny, and I'll be playing Viola Thomas. Both of us use she, her pronouns.
Next we have Killian.
Hey there, I'm Killian. I use they, them pronouns, and I play Tabs the Fox, who uses he, they pronouns.
And lastly, Grim.
My name is Grim. I use any pronouns you throw at me, and my character, Orion Murrah, does the same.
No sign of her recent presence in the bathroom. Where'd everyone else go? Jojo enters the room of Annabella to find only one person. Tabitha, who is looking at its own hands with a wolfish grin.
Oh.
Delightful. You okay, Tabs? I'm wonderful, my love. The other speakers have gone home. They decided that this Annabella is not as important as their own interests. I cannot say I disagree. Tabitha pushes past the frowning Jojo, trots down the stairs, and leaves the cop with more questions than answers. Tabs, hey! Hey, how's it going? Tom, wearing an old hoodie and a pair of worn jeans splattered with all colors of paint, jogs over to Tabitha, trying his best to act cool and suave. I am well, my love. And what is it that you are wearing? Your love? I'm just spit it out. I do not have all day. Tom recoils from the whiplash of the conversation, his blush giving way to hurt and confusion. I was painting the signs for the celebration. Perhaps it would be best to give up the art and focus on something more realistic. Tab strolls away, either not noticing or not caring how pained and betrayed Tom looks behind them. So, you're standing next to a woodland stream. The lamb has asked you where the missing wolf is. What do you do?
Sorry, I'm just in my head beating up this Tabs impersonator.
I don't know. No, that's the real Tabs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, Beans.
Oh dear.
Wait, so you're actually waiting on this wolf to come by and eat you?
and the lamb looks at their wrist. There's nothing there, but they say, I have a schedule to keep up, you know?
I'm starting to think that this is less of a story and more of a stage play.
Look, we all have our jobs, and mine may not be the most pleasant, but I gotta feed the wife and kids, you know? Ha, that's a joke. I don't have a wife and kids. But I seriously, I'm like way past schedule. So do you know where the wolf is? Cause
Have you ever met us before?
yeah, that's a good point. Who the hell are you?
Exactly. Exactly. Things ain't what they should be right now, huh?
Eh. And the lamb starts to sort of size all of you up.
What exactly are you waiting for this wolf to do? Is he going to argue with you about the stream? Or is he just going to eat you?
Well, he usually, well, he starts upstream, and the lamb kind of points up the stream, and then he says like, "Oh, you're muddying the waters, so I'm gonna eat you." And then I say, "Oh, I can't be muddying the waters. I'm downstream from you." And it's a whole thing. We go back and forth, and then and then eventually he does eat me anyways, even without an excuse. You know.
Right. Now, do you want to be eaten, or would you like to just go?
I mean, does anyone want to do mindless labor if you really think about it? Or is it just the society that puts these restrictions on our personhood? If you really think about it.
Well, that is a very valid point. But if the wolf could not be bothered to show up, perhaps you should not be bothered to wait for him.
Yes, and how long have you waited?
Oh, I mean, golly gee, the loop only started like a little bit before you got here. I haven't been waiting too long. It's just he's usually so prompt. He really likes to eat me, you know?
I suppose that makes sense. Do you have any clue where he last was?
I mean, oh jeez. And Loxley frantically looks at a list of the fables. Hold on. I mean, this is besides some of the ensemble stories, this is kind of the main one where he and I interact. So, I was just wondering if you could maybe like look around and see if you could figure out where he went, because I really do gotta get going into his mouth
Right.
as a meal.
Sure. Would you like one of us to try to eat you instead?
Oh, look, I'm flattered, but I don't know you.
Right, right. Well, just putting out options, but no, sure, let's look around and see if we can figure out what happened to this wolf.
Oh, golly gee, thank you. That would be great. I'm just gonna rehearse my lines.
Can I cast a spell, Loxley?
Sure. What spell would you like to cast?
My learn spell.
Okay. With what purpose?
We're learning where the wolf went.
Okay. You can do this. I do think it's going to be a hard difficulty.
Okay, so that is 46.
Roll it up. So you need to hit a 6. Oh, close.
Darn.
4, 3, 1, and 5. I think I'm trying not to give you too much of a throw you too much of a bone because you did fail. I think you try to cast this learn spell and that sort of migraine, that sort of like after effect of magic targeting your mind sort of springs up just a little. It's not nearly as bad as before. You don't take any spirit damage from it this time.
Yay.
But it does kind of echo as you try to recast the spell. So you don't really get much of anything.
Not even like an idea that the wolf isn't even here.
Honestly, I don't think the spell even fully activates before this sort of migraine comes back.
I gotcha.
What are the rest of you doing? Are you investigating the old-fashioned way? Are you casting a new spell? What's kind of the plan here?
I think Tabs is gonna investigate the old-fashioned way. Just glance around a little bit.
Okay.
Margie just wants to keep questioning this lamb. She's like,
Okay.
so why is it necessary exactly for you to be eaten by the wolf? Is there like a time-space continuum that falls apart if he doesn't eat you?
Whoa, okay, those are some really big words. it's just my job. I mean, that's what the author intended. So I gotta, I gotta play my part.
Again with this author and their intentions.
But riddle me this. If it was the author's intention for you to be eaten by the wolf, why isn't the wolf here? And why are us four here instead?
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't have the answer. Oh, okay. So listen. Maybe if you just like go away, maybe your presence is blocking the wolf? Is that? No offense. I'm not telling you to like go away because I don't like spending time in your presence
No, of course.
and you're like all really obnoxious and getting in my way or anything. Golly gee, no. I just think maybe if you leave, then things will go back to normal.
Oh, honey, we're trying that. Before I depart, I do have a question for you. Have you met your author?
I mean, oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that.
If it's your job, surely there's a employment contract of some kind. I know all about employment contracts. I've done all kinds of jobs in my hometown.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, I would. Met is a strong word, but I wouldn't say I've met the author so much as like witnessed their awesome power. But I'm sure certainly you've seen them around. They're kind of all over the place, and they kind of hold out a hand, like a little bit above their head, and they say, yay high, kind of indistinct, made of shadows. And I think with that, we are going to cut over to Tabitha.
Yes.
You were investigating. Where were you investigating? It's a pretty small scene.
Probably down the stream where they said that they usually encounter the wolf first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where the wolf would usually enter the scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a sort of investigation check. I think it'll be just an average difficulty of 4 since you're looking in the right spot. Theoretically. What would you like to roll with for that?
I could throw 3 potential points and upgrade my reason so that I have 2d6 for that, maybe.
Yeah, that could work.
I might go ahead and do that then, because I've been wanting to upgrade my things anyway.
Yeah. So let me update that on my sheet real quick. And whenever you're ready, you can roll.
Done and done. I got 2 4s.
Okay. I think with that, with a full success, you do find something. You don't find the wolf, but you do find kind of over a very small hill, or maybe like behind a boulder, the spot where you imagine a wolf might hide and wait for prey. And you see that there is, again, no wolf, but there is this sort of, almost like the shadow of a wolf. Right. There's nothing casting the shadow, and it's entirely still. It's very like frozen in place, but it is there, and it's very dark. Like it's a very thick shadow.
Interesting.
What do you do with this information? Do you touch the shadow?
A little bit, yeah. That's what I was planning on doing.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna roll 20d6 damage against you.
Oh, beans.
That's not true. I'm lying to you. I'm a lying liar who lies.
Is it just gonna be 8?
No, I don't think you're gonna take any damage, but I do think you get this sort of as you touch the shadow, your hand goes cold, like numb a little bit, and this shiver runs down your spine. I do think you hear like very indistinct whispering in the back of your mind.
Mm,
So that's weird.
yeah, a little bit. I don't know what to do with this information, to be quite frank.
Okay, we can come back over to the others if you don't have anything more you want to do immediately.
Please do.
Viola, what were you doing during this? Were you still talking to the lamb with Margie, or were you?
I think she would like to use some magic to try and figure out what happened to this wolf.
Ooh,
So, casting a new spell.
hell yeah!
Okay, so I am searching.
Oh, you got so many.
It's a pretty nice spread of letters.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have 4 eyes or whatever that we had a couple episodes ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
for real.
Me when you're wearing glasses and I'm a playground bully. 4 eyes. No, that was nothing. Okay. Look, it's hard to vamp during spellcasting, okay?
Yeah, sorry. It'll take a second to think about this.
Isn't there forcing a spell to work by, like, fucking up the letter itself? Because couldn't you break off the last bit of the E for an F or something like that? Would that, like, actually be something that we could do? Because I know there's, like, the turning a letter thing, right?
I think breaking off a piece of it is maybe stretching it.
Okay.
But if you can't come up with anything else, I'll allow it. I just think that the side effect is going to be a little bit more
Drastic.
nasty than it would be. Yeah, drastic.
I figured as much.
Let me. I'm kind of liking delve, but let me see. There's not really a. Delving is more reaching into a pocket to rummage around in something instead of just searching in general.
I mean, it also means dig.
Mm.
So, like, you're digging into the mystery. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Actually, I will say dig is listed as a synonym for search.
True. Yeah. I think it could work if you don't have any better options.
That might be what I end up going with. Yeah, there's so many not helpful words. I think that dig or delve is going to be the best option.
Alrighty. So, locking in your answer, which one do you want to go with?
Well, we'll go with delve because it just sounds fancier.
True.
That's so
True.
real.
They mean the same thing. But we'll go with delve because it sounds fancier.
All right. I will have you. Do I want to have you roll or describe it first? I think I'll have you roll first. I think, like I said for Orion, it is going to be a hard difficulty. But you have. Did you roll with 4d6 originally?
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have 4d6 for this. You just need to hit 1 6. There you go.
There we go. 3, 1, 2, and 6.
Good shit.
All right. Yeah. What do you think this spell looks like? Like, what does it manifest as?
So this time, again, she clicks her pen and the ink flows from the tip and forms the word delve and then just sort of continues swirling along in like a really pretty, almost sparkly line, just circling the whole area, up and down and along the ground and dipping into all the little nooks and crannies, looking and searching for digging out where this wolf has gone.
All right, yeah. I think this line eventually leads you to where Tabitha is standing over behind that boulder. And you see this shadow, and the magic kind of sinks into the shadow. And for a second, I think it kind of sparks isn't quite the right word. It's a very odd effect, the way this sparkly magic meets this inky black shadow. But I think as it sinks into it, you can see it kind of digging through, and it's kind of struggling to find purchase. But then eventually you see just the tiniest crack in this shadow form. And through it, I didn't think you'd be figuring this out quite so fast. You see Annabella's bedroom.
Huh.
And it's only there for a moment. It's not something you could like reach through or anything. But you do see that something, you can make your assumptions what going by the mystery so far. But something has seemingly pulled the wolf out of this fable into Fox Jumps.
That's a problem. Friends, we have an issue. And she'll point it out to anyone that comes over. I think that this wolf is in our world.
It's in our world. Mm,
Yes.
Well, if that's true, can we just follow it out and go back?
That would be ideal, but it doesn't look like we can just do that.
Well, with the other stories, something's changed in them so that we could switch to the next one. This one already has something that's changed, so maybe we could just get to the next one and just try to find our way out from there. It doesn't feel like we're getting much except dead ends right here.
Like, yeah, I don't know if I can go into another philosophical debate with this lamb. Is Annabella with us?
Yes, she's just been kind of.
Okay.
She's a little overwhelmed by everything going on,
Yeah.
Understood.
and also the whole shadow figure appearing very blatantly in the last one. I think she just kind of sat down next to the stream and is just kind of throwing rocks into the water idly.
Right.
Um,
Yes. Well, perhaps we should get her to lead us to the book.
I think that might be the best, because if we can find a way out, we can find a way to get the wolf back in here.
That would be ideal.
I don't see any way for us to bring it back through here.
No.
Oh, right. What do you do with Annabella?
Yeah, I think we should go to her.
Yeah.
She actually no, I don't think she does startle when you come up to her. I think she just kind of continues glumly throwing rocks and says, "Hey, Viola."
Annabella, you said you'd be able to help us find the book?
Oh, yeah. You said the wolf got out into our world, huh?
It is a possibility, yes.
Geez, I hope for the sake of our town that that's not the case. He's a real piece of work.
Well, yes. If we can get back there, though.
By piece of work, what do you mean by that? Like from a scale of 0 to John Noble?
On a scale from 0 to John Noble being a 10, I presume,
Yes.
I'd say he's like a 20. He likes to eat people and be evil, and he's conniving and cruel, and he likes to just see people suffer. I assume he's not gonna eat nobody with the whole turning into a humanoid thing, which I'm still adjusting to. But at least John Noble is subtle in his cruelty sometimes. I'm not convinced the town's gonna handle the wolf too well.
Oh.
Oh dear. Oh shoot, do we know any grandmothers?
Viola looks at Margie.
I was gonna say the tab's just the same. Well, the story wouldn't happen to be within this one, would it? The book?
Oh no, it's a couple. I mean, I don't know how it works with your magic, and I know you had to. What was it? Come with a new moral? But it's a. I don't know. It's very ethereal, but I think if we make enough progress, I could get us there pretty quick.
Okay.
Tabs, I think, might scoff and kind of throw his hands up. I mean, well, don't waste your time waiting for others that don't give you theirs. The sheep has been waiting here all day, and it seems to be getting nowhere.
Is that your moral? Are you officially?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think
Locking her in.
no, I think that definitely works. And I think it's a good moral, and we should all learn a little about about the world from this Foxman. I think he's really grown wise. And anyways, I'm gonna have you roll to turn the page to a new fable.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Storybook Ending. Lox is a bit sick right now, so I'm taking over the Miltro for this episode. Have you considered leaving a rating and review for the show? It's up to you, but I will be sicking the shadow figures on you if you don't, so it's your choice. You can also share the show with friends and family, since word of mouth is the best way to spread the fun. If you want to chat with the cast and other fans, join us on the Actual Plays. That's a Discord server with a ton of great actual play shows, including Storybook Ending. The next episode should be out January 22nd. Until then, enjoy the rest of the show.
When you turn the page to a new fable, let me find my notes. Roll an impulse of your choice, describing how you make use of it to find your way.
May I roll scheme because we're driven by strategy and planning to get this book?
I think that makes sense. So yes,
Yippee.
you may. So how many scheme do you have again?
4.
4d6. So you'll roll that up, and we'll see how many good rolls you get. How many good dice you get. Ooh.
I got 1.
You got 1 4, and a 4, 2, 3, 2. So no 6s. All right, that's still good. That's still good. You are currently at 4 progress before this roll, so that
Mm-hmm.
if your highest die is a 4 or a 5, add 1 progress to the track. The keeper will describe the new story you find yourself in. So let's up that to 5 progress. I think, Tabs, as you sort of a little bit potentially annoyed with the situation, give out this moral to the universe. The universe is like, hey, come on, I'm just doing my best. And then I'm kidding. The universe accepts it, and you find yourself being turned into words and pulled through the fables. I think you find yourself, let me double check my notes. When you sort of reconvene as a fully formed figure rather than the sum total of your parts in word form, you find yourself at the bottom of a well. It's a pretty wide well. It kind of has to be for all of you to fit in there. The lamb isn't here, but the 4 speakers and Annabella are all here, along with a recently familiar figure, Rowan.
Oh, goody.
And he's just kind of staring up at the top of the well. And he's just kind of, seems to be just kind of waiting. And it kind of starts when you appear next to him. He says, ah, fuck. Jesus. Don't ask how I know about Jesus. It's a whole thing.
Pleasure to see you again, Rowan.
Yeah, whatever. Tabs, I thought you were the coolest shit. But turns out you're just kind of shit. I'm sorry, that was mean. I just don't like this story. It's so boring.
Enlighten us.
I mean, I don't know. You kind of took most of my grapes away.
Enlighten us.
Are you just going to repeat that phrase until I...
Yeah, sure. Whatever it takes.
Oh. And he kind of looks at you 5, and he's like, Goodness. He does not enlighten you, if that wasn't clear. He's just kind of staring at the 5 of you and then looking up and looking around and kind of awkwardly, like, like when you're on an elevator with someone and like the air is really awkward.
Yeah.
Not like actively hostile or anything, but just like, oh, I'm stuck in this space with this people I don't really want to be stuck in a space with.
Mm-hmm.
You're elevated with the secondary fox from Aesop's Fables.
Rowan fell into a well and is now trying to get out of said well. Isn't that right?
You would know, says Rowan.
Yes.
Can I roll to see if Viola recognizes this fable?
That's a good question. Sure. Yeah, if you want to just roll a regular impulse check, we've established that Viola knows a lot of the fables.
Yeah.
Although if you know it yourself, you can just say Viola recognizes it, like offhand. If you don't, you can roll.
Well, the fox is in a well, so I'm pretty sure it's the fox and the goat. Where the fox was in the well and a goat comes and asks the fox if the water's good. And then the fox tells it to come on down. The water's so good I can't get enough. And then the goat leaps in, and then the fox jumps onto the goat and jumps out.
Is this you speaking or is this Viola speaking? Just so we're
This was me.
okay.
If that is the correct one, then we can say Viola knows it, and she can recap it in character and much better than I just did. If it's the wrong one, I can roll.
I think you're as correct as you're gonna get. Not saying you're wrong or right, but I think that is a very fair assumption to make.
Okay. All right. So Viola then will look around and say, well, we're in a well. And I do believe that our fox friend here, Rowan, was it? Is probably waiting for a goat to come and ask if the water's any good. And then, of course, lie to the poor goat and get it to leap down here, and then use the goat to jump out.
Okay, you don't need to put my whole plan on blast. I think it's clever. I think I'm a very clever person, and I worked really hard to get where I am today. And if you just kind of read it
Yes.
out like it's some boring
Yes.
childhood story.
Of course, you are a very, very clever boy.
Okay, well that seems demeaning.
But now that there's a whole bunch of us in here, Tabs, would you like me to give you a lift? Give you a boost out of here?
Yes, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
And yeah, Viola will do the linking fingers together thing to make a place for Tabs to step into and help lift him out.
Rowan looks at you aghast and says, "You cannot bring the power of friendship into my story."
Like hell, I can't.
Oh,
The moral is going to be life is easier with a friend.
that is some cookie cutter, glitter and magic bullshit. Do you know how many times I've been stuck in this well for like
Well,
hours at a time? And then you just pop
if
in
you-
here and you think, oh, I have a friend and I can just lift them out. No, this world is cutthroat. It's you gotta work hard for
Rowan.
what you want. You gotta con and scheme and you gotta vamp.
Whoa,
You know how
whoa,
hard it
whoa,
is to
whoa,
vamp?
whoa. I don't care how hard it is. And what perplexes me is that you first complained to us about how boring your job is, and now you're telling us that you have to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Please.
After all the bragging, too.
I don't want to be stuck in this well. I'm going to use the power of friendship. I'm not wasting my time just to make you feel better about your job that you apparently stole from Tabitha, which is like an entire knot that I have to unpack, but I don't have the time.
It does seem that if you were as clever as you thought you were, you'd be able to get out of this without waiting for hours.
Exactly.
I feel like I need one of you to roll like a check just to see if you really get through to him. I feel like Margie did the brunt of the arguing there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll reason, so I have like a 2d6 in that.
Okie doke. He'll roll a defense real quick.
Okay.
And does Margie get a bonus for getting helped?
That's a good point. I feel like normally you would have to use like a spell as a boon, but I think because all of you were kind of adding in there, or most of you, I'll give you an extra d6.
Okay, an extra d6.
But before you roll, I will roll 2d6 as his defense for daring. He rolled a 4 as his highest.
I also rolled a 4 as my highest.
All right. Yeah, okay. So I think you do get through to him, and he looks kind of ashamed from a few different directions. that you kind of shotgunned a lot of points at him, and apparently at least a couple of them found purchase. And he just kind of kicks his heel at the bottom of the well, and it splashes, and he says, look, guys, and he sighs, and he says, I'm trying my best. I mean, this guy," and he gestures at Tabs, and he says, "This guy had some pretty big boots to fill. Like, everyone knows the Fox from the Aesop's Fables. And I've only had this job for a couple months. I'm trying my best. The author's a tough guy to work for. You know how it is. I didn't mean to be an asshole. It's stressful, you know?"
Before everyone starts being shocked, I just want to say that Orion is currently staring daggers at Rowan.
Tabs is definitely a bit taken aback, but will slowly nod before asking, "Rowan, how come it is that you and the others have always known about this author?"
And he grimaces, and he says, "Hey, I have fucked up by saying the name even. Wait, what others told you?
The lamb also told us.
The lamb? Ah, that bastard.
Yes, the wolf was missing from their story.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
He's no longer within the story.
That's... You guys are screwed. Oh, jeez.
Which is why we're trying to get out of here.
And he turns to Viola, who had previously offered to help Tabs up, and says, "Hey, you want to help me out of here? Uppies, please? Uppies?"
No, actually. Tabs, you first.
Tabs will use Viola's help to get up.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll a check against Rowan to see, because he's gonna try to, like, scramble up Viola.
Okay, what do I...
He's gonna try to use what he has to get out of here.
Ooh.
I think this is gonna be a kind of a weird roll. We're just gonna roll and see who gets higher.
Okay.
Does Viola get to roll as well? Because she doesn't want to help him.
That is a good point.
She could just split her fingers if he gets there first.
That is true. Okay, I think a 3-way roll is kind of a tricky thing to...
Well, maybe Rowan and Tabs to see who gets there first, and then if Rowan wins, Rowan and Viola to see if she reacts properly.
Yeah, that's true. We can do this in
A two-part.
2 steps. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Okay.
What am I rolling?
You are going to roll an impulse of your choice to see if you can get up Viola first, and he is going to roll, I think, his daring again, which is now knocked down to a 1, so he's not going to do great.
Oh, frick. I don't know what works.
Let's see. What do you have? I mean, daring could also work.
Let's just do that. I have a good number of dice there.
Okay. Yeah. Let's roll for it. I got a 5 with my 1d6. Oh my god.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right.
1646. Yeah, I think you easily beat Rowan there, and he just kind of he tries to play it off. Like I was just sorry. I thought you dropped something. I was rushing over to help pick it up.
Sure you were.
Right.
Damn it! God damn it! This sucks.
So yeah, I'll boost Tabs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with the help, Tabs, you're pretty easily able to climb your way out. You do see a goat is starting to slowly trot towards you. I think the goat actually notices you and says, "Oh, hey, is it? Oh my gosh, Tabitha? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Hey,
Much longer from you by the sound of it.
I don't know what that is supposed to mean. That's kind of... Are you calling me old? Just because I'm thousands of years old?
No. Nothing of the sort.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Hey, why, you were kind of mean to me.
And I'm sure Rowan's the same.
Yeah, no, that guy's a fucking asshole. He's bad.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
I had to.
No.
I'm tempted to just cut the episode there so that I can sit in my shame for a little while longer.
I mean, we're at the time.
We are at the time. Someone give me a one-liner, quick.
Well, at least we know the goat's still here.
At least we know the goat's still here.
Fade to black.
Fade to black. No, it's like a star wipe. And it goes zoom. and then fucking Eagle comes on screen and says, "That's all, folks."